We need to review Greek nouns. First semester Greek is largely about learning Greek nouns. You learned all of the declensions. If you don't look back at them, they will sneak away from you. You must review this. I encourage you not to try to skip this, not to try to skip the review, but to move through this and see how much you remember. I do have a couple supplementary resources listed, have all the noun declensions first through third in a Word document, as well as a blank version of that for you to practice in, posted for you. So with the key terms, we're not going to go through all of these, but again, just remember how many you remember. These are Greek terms, peculiar in some ways to Greek grammar, and so much of it was probably unfamiliar when you first learned it last semester. Case, how many cases are there in Greek? Well, we use the 5-case system. Number, singular or plural. 3 genders, masculine, feminine, neuter. The lexical form is the dictionary form. There is no indefinite article in Greek. The definite article is ha, he, ta. Predicate, nominative, parts of speech. Again, move through that if you don't remember it. Look back in your notes, but you need to continue to be familiar with these because they'll continue to come. Paradigm. This is a paradigm, okay? And what you're looking at here is the first declension paradigm. Remember, first declension is usually feminine. The second declension has a masculine and a neuter pattern. And then the third declension has both masculine and feminine pattern and a neuter pattern. So here are the 5 cases. So you have nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, and then the vocative is usually identical in form to the nominative. So if you just remember that, you'll be fine with the vocative. So here are our endings. First declension endings. Remember, you have these 2 different patterns, eta or an alpha. The second declension masculine versus the second declension neuter. And then your third declension ending, sasia as onsias for masculine and feminine, and asi, aonsia for the neuter. So again, look at the supplement that lists for you the full paradigms and begin practicing filling those out once again in the blank version. See how you do. A stop. Remember, there are 9 consonants in the alphabet that are categorized as stops. They include labials, velars, and dentals. And the reason these are important is because they do something very specific when they are combined with a sigma. So a labial combined with a sigma gives you a psi. A velar with a sigma is a xi, and a dental with a sigma, the dental drops out and you get a sigma. This is important where? In the third declension, as well as in the future tense and the aorist tense of verbs. Yes, it just keeps going. We have more terms about possession. Which case indicates possession usually? The genitive. Which case indicates an indirect object? The dative. So here we have the concept of key words. That is, what English preposition do you typically use to translate each of these cases? The genitive, which indicates often possession, is going to be translated with the key word of. The dative, which usually or often indicates an indirect object, will often be translated with the key word to, although it will sometimes be for or with. You'll learn more about that. And then remember parsing. This means breaking down the word into its constituent parts. So the 5 components needed for declining nouns. And to remember this, dumb guys cry near ladies. And then for verbs, TV's making people nuts lately. Or, as one student told me, tiny vehicles moving people, not luggage. And I asked, what does that mean? Tiny vehicles moving people, not luggage. She said, you know, like if a bunch of girls are going on a girls' weekend and you stuff into the car and there's not enough room for your luggage. Okay, well, that makes sense. So if that works for you, go with that. Today's maxim, learning Greek is all about repetition. So you will look at those paradigm sheets with the first, second, and third declensions on them, review them, try to fill them out using the blank worksheet. Grade yourself, see how you do. If you do poorly, you need more work. It's necessary, do it. You'll be glad you did.